the mind, what we think we know. That is the door. The door blocks the doorway. It's really that simple. We don't open the door when we don't see that it is a doorway to something more. Okay. One of our greatest enemies is our lack of trust that there is more. What we do generally is fight change because we want to be right. We develop this attitude when we are children. Parents tell us this, parents tell us that, parents tell us the other. A child soon rebels. Not because the child is particularly wise. Within every creature is the desire to control its own destiny. Hence, so much teen and preteen pregnancy. So much hostility in children. Hear that word. Hold that word, children. It is not age that makes children, but understanding that makes children. Now, we have this. We want to go into the world and we want to make our own way. But yet, we have no idea. Listen to children, listen to young people. It's a new day. We're different. You don't understand. But see, the simple fact of the matter is I've been where you are, and you have not been where I am. Therefore, the honest bottom line truth is you don't know what you're talking about. Now, what we have done is developed a door. Someone says to us, you don't know what you're talking about. Simple, straightforward. What do they get? They get angry. And they dig in their heels. You know, you remember. It's not like I'm saying this to you and you've never been there. You've been there, and most of you are there now. Hence this process. Hence the friction between you, me, and this process. When the truth is, there's no tension between you and me. You're creating that crap in your head. Which is what we do with our parents. Because we think we know. All right. So this is just the development. The development of it. All right? Most of us, as adults, have said, you know, the older I get, the more I sound like my parents. That's because they were right. And as you develop, as you get to points that they were, you see it from that perspective. Nothing has changed, except we've gotten older and more willing to deal with some truths. The door. Now, because we still hold those habits inside as, forgive me, but I to use the word adults, I use that term loosely. Because emotionally, for the most part, we are emotionally what we have been since we were 2 years old. So I had to ask the question, as all of us have to ask the question, why am I a 2-year-old living in a world that should be ruled and run by adults? I'm acting like a child. When we don't want to come to the truth of the law, coming to the truth of the law is the law. It is a law. You are alive because of laws. Because of laws, you live. And because of laws, you die. Because there are laws. Not laws that men set up, but laws of nature. What happens is when you walk through that door, you become a force of nature. We say, ooh, that sounds really romantic. Yeah. I'm a force of nature. Yeah, so is the wind blowing. It is a force of nature because it adheres to the laws of itself. The laws of itself, the laws of growth, which we are here to do, which we are here to live up to. It's that simple. Now, here's the struggle within people. I want to be right. There's an old saying among those who know. You must be able or willing to die to walk through that door. In other words, if you believe in, quote, God, to go to God, you must die. Now, that doesn't mean a physical death, because the physical is pretty much meaningless. That means the biomechanical things that you consider that you are. The biomechanical things such as, I'm right. Albert Einstein, considered one of the greatest minds of, what is this, the 20th century, 21st? What century is this? As far as I know, it's the 14th, but as far as I know personally, he had a problem. His problem was he did not believe his own work. He believed the universe was static. That means it's like this. It's always been like this. It will always be this way. His mathematics said, no, buddy. Your mathematics, your formula says no. The priest who finally proved it said, check that out, priest, who finally proved that the universe is dynamic and changing every moment, wrote him a letter, and he told Einstein, said, well, your mathematics is correct, but your physics is abominable. A perfect example of how, in spite of the truth that you spouted, you can't see it because you have an idea. That's a law. When you have something else, you can't see what is right before you. You can't see it. I talk to people about space. What is space? Well, space is nothing. No, that can't be. Well, why can't it be? Because if it were nothing, you couldn't perceive it. Think of it. Nothing. What does a blind man see? Darkness? No. Nothing. Doesn't see anything. He needs light to see. What does he see? Nothing. Oh. So space is a fabric. It is a fabric. You live in space like a fish lives in water. Space is outside of you and inside of you at the same time. So is intelligence. Outside of you and inside of you at the same time. In other words, you have to empty some space to get some more stuff. Okay? What you go through is the true meaning of jihad. The true meaning. The battle is inside, not out here. You don't go around messing people up out here. That doesn't change anything in you. What changes in you is finding out the truth and living with it. When we stop, there should not even be a battle. If we have come to the place of wanting to know, and wanting to know simply because we've suffered long enough to ask the real question, what is the problem? Oh, and don't stop there with the problem. The next question is, what is the solution? You see, when we walk through that door, if we walk through that door, there's a real fabric called peace. And in that peace, it will never change because it is truth. Peace is truth. Peace just is. Disturbance is because we cause it. Something causes a disturbance. What we think we know. What we think we know. Causes a disturbance in the peace instead of looking at something and seeing what it is. You know, I am awestruck. It's like this process. What makes me awestruck is I say, this is not about me and not about anything between us. This is about understanding the truth. Here we go. The truth is, the great disturber is your mind. That means everybody with a mind, not just the individual I'm talking about, I mean everybody with a mind has a disturber. If you want the lake to become smooth again, you have to put the disturber in its place. You have to check the disturber. And what does that mean? That means I can't just respond to it. So one of the problems that people have hanging out in the air is fighting to maintain their ignorance and their pain. Well, Ananda, I don't do that. I just told you you did. And I just told you you did, not because I'm trying to be mean to you, because that's what I do. You know, if you go to the skunk and he pisses on you, don't get mad at him. He's just being a skunk. I'm just doing what I'm here to do. You go to the skunk, get out of here. Now you're upset. That doesn't make any sense. Therefore, what has to happen is we have to be tired of suffering. We have to be tired of creating our life the way we're creating it. Here's a part of the equation of what you are. Here's a part of justice. God does not judge you. He gave that job to her. There you go. God does not judge you. You judge yourself by what you do and what comes back to you. You create your reality. The power of creation is within every individual because we are the reflection of God itself. So that is within every individual. So you get something you don't like, stop putting out what you don't like. It's really very simple. How do we do that beautifully, artistically? By understanding. See, we can say in here all day, I'm going to change. You're not going to change because you're just uttering more words. They're only words. They're only words. They don't mean anything. What means something is the releasing of the lock of energy. That's your biomechanical habit. That's all it is. So the focus must be on releasing the biomechanical habit to open the door. And once we open the door, we stand in light because we see in light. We don't see in darkness. We see in light. The world floods with light. Wow. You know, when you stand there and you wake up in the morning and you look at a wall, and that wall may be dirty, it may be broken, it may be whatever, but the joy of being able to wake up, the joy of being able to stand in the sunshine, the joy of being able to stand and be truth is enough. I don't have to be married with 18 kids. I don't have to be the leader of the world, which is I have many people who come through this process. If they all knew how many of them said, I think I'm Christ. I'm going to lead the world. Oh, yeah, right. I think he did that already. I think that that act's been done. Okay? I'm just a guy passing through your life. I'm not leading you anywhere. Don't be telling people I lead you. They hang people on crosses for that crap. No. Football season is coming. What don't have time to be hanging on no cross. I'm being in jail with Big Bubba? No. Bride of Bubba. No. 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 Save yourself, and you have changed the world. So the change must be real, not talked about. I've had people say to me, I've got a lot of work to do. Well, then stop talking and act. Work. What does that mean? Open the door by examining your own thoughts and what that really means. See, we have to be really willing to see and accept the truth. Just the truth. There are no special people. No. We're just people. Some of us make better use of our intelligence in certain ways. Some of us make better use of our intelligence in other ways. Wayne makes use of his intelligence as a psychologist. Morgan makes better use of her ways as a retired judge. Retired. That's all. That's all. No one is special. Albert Einstein was not special. There was just certain things he was not interested in. Did you ever see the, what do you call it, the rules that he set up for a woman to be his wife? Don't bother me. Number one. Don't bother me. His cousin his first wife was not willing to do that. His second wife, she said, I'm just happy I can be Mrs. Einstein. I can travel around the world. Hell with you. Go on in the room. Sit down. You want the door nailed shut? I got you. Why? Because when he went into that state of consciousness, he did not want any ripples of disturbance, because this was coming into him. And it was more important than any personal thing of his. He'd wear that same suit for weeks, not bathe for weeks. And then, of course, she didn't want to come close to her. You're like, what is that smell? It's you in that suit again. Slide his food around the door and I'm gone. See, we use our intelligence in different ways, and we can understand and be with each other in different ways as long as we understand. But understanding is the key. Understanding is the key. I am not social. That doesn't mean that everybody else should not be social. I'm Einstein locked in a room. And I don't mean that as I'm Einstein locked in a room. I mean the same thing. You know, when I look at something, I was looking at a tree yesterday. I was thinking about space. And I watched the tree. And I watched the space around the tree and within the tree. And then I watched the spin of the earth. I didn't care anything about those horns beeping behind me. What? What? Wasn't a true story, but hey, what the hell? It made the point. You understand what I'm saying? We step through the door and the world changes. I'm not a creator of problems. When I open the door, and opening the door is opening the door to the bubble that encases me in something that keeps me from truth. And if it keeps me from truth, it keeps me from God itself. Because that which created us all is what is true. Its laws are what is true. Of which anger is not one of them. Anger feeds the law of separation. Insecurity feeds the law of separation. Doubt, fear feeds the law of separation. We look at our lives. Why am I always in trouble with my job? Why am I always in trouble with the people around me? Why is it people look at me and go, why? You say there's something wrong with them. Could be, probably. But there's something wrong with you too. You walk through that door and there is peace. You want to deal with what is true. And you do. Therefore, you have no debate within yourself. So you have no debate with other people. That is, here is the truth. Deal with it. In my life, I've been criticized. Oh, you could have been kinder. No, I could not. The kindest I could be was directly, here you go. There you are. Oh, well, you should have said this. No, why should I help a person continue their misery? You asked me, I told you. What do you want from me? If you want to change what you're doing, I assume that's why you asked me the question. Otherwise, ask somebody else. You want to hear bullshit about it, go ask the bullshitter.
Right.
Here. Because I want to do better. I want to know who I am. I'm tired of the way my life is. Truly tired. You see, here's the thing. There's a difference between talking and reporting. I'm going to report the truth to you. I'm just reporting. Water is wet. Ice is hard. Fire is hot. Now don't get angry with me because you go, why is this blister on my hand? Because you put it in a hot fire. Oh, no, all I did was report. All I did was report. All I did was report. That's all. Why won't you talk to me? Because you insist upon not dealing with the truth, not dealing with why we're here together. I had I was at the gym one day, and I'm learning, and I have to relearn this all the time. Shut up. I have to learn it all the time. Just shut up. Guy talks to me and he says, "Hey, mate, how are you?" I say, "Hey, how you doing?" "Okay. What are you, from New Zealand or are you from Australia?" He says, "I'm an Aussie, boy." And he talks and he talks and he says, "Look, I got myself some new shoes." Okay. All right, so we're going to talk about shoes. He says, "Well, you know how it is when you have shoes on your feet." I said, "Well, yeah, I've had these for a while." Both. He says, "Well, how long have you had those shoes?" And I said, 27 years. Had the feet almost 80. 27 years. He says, that's wrong. And I thought about it. I said, "You're right. I've had them 30 years. No, that's not possible." Oh, now I know why I don't talk to people. I just told you how old the shoes were. You just told me they weren't. Why am I talking to you? Why is that? See, I have to ask that question of myself. I'm not going to ask him, "Why am I talking to you?" I have to ask me, "Why are you talking to this moron?" I saw him another day. "Hey, mate, how you doing?" "Good. I got to go." "Nice to see you." Ah. You remember there was a commercial on TV years ago about penis enlargements, Bob?
Oh, yeah.
And Bob would always,
Yeah.
"That's the way I am now." "Go get your penis enlarged. Don't talk to me." It's as good as saying anything else and not paying any attention to you anyway. So, knowing how to deal with things once we walk through that door, it's not that serious, but it's serious enough. It's serious enough. Where do we find the balance? The balance must be found naturally inside. You can't create an artificial balance. It must be real. It has to be real. In order for any individual to uplift the whole of mankind, that individual must be uplifted themselves. And then we deal with things differently. I like to talk about my experience in the airport. I come in, it's gotten to the point now they see me coming and they get my stuff ready at the desk. It's like, wow. Hey, give them the Bob wave. "We got your wheelchair rating." "Oh, you don't have to take off your shoes." Go on through. It makes a difference when you step through that door and you treat people a certain way. And you spread something in the world. A woman called me several years ago. I don't know how she got my number. She said, "You taught my daughter when she was in high school. She died recently from cancer." She said, "But you changed her life. You changed the way she felt about race, the way she felt about life, period. Thank you. I'm sorry for the loss of your lovely daughter. I don't even know who this young woman was." Point. Because I came to her as a human being. It changed her. She allowed change in her. Okay? You want to change the world, then you have to come to that real place within you, so that that effort that you make is not an artificial effort. It's just an effort. It's a real thing. You see, that bob wave comes from inside of me because it makes me laugh. And it makes me smile. And they go, "Ooh, what a nice man." And I go, "Go forth and have a large penis." I'm happy. You go, "Oh my, what a nice man." I'm not a nice man. I'm a dirty old man. What do you want from me? But I accept the truth. And we step into the truth. We step into the truth and we learn real laughter, real joy, real sorrow. If we don't step through that door, we make our pain worse. We make it last longer by nurturing ideas that hold it. These are the tethers that hold us to the earth, make us earthbound, not light, as in fine vibration. Fine vibration. What is the finest vibration? What we call God itself is the finest vibration. Purest, simplest. It is not complicated. It is simple. Simple. This makes us want to make everything complicated. It's all about me. Well, no, it's all about that bass, all about that bass. No treble. Not about you. Not about your mind. It's about that vibration. That vibration. That if you listen, you will hear. Not with your ear, but inside. Shh. What are you quieting? You're quieting your mind. When you quiet it, you can feel what you are. If you can feel what you are, you can be what you are. You feel your body relax, and you feel it lift. Wow. You feel it lift. You feel something inside your brain open. And there's a smile everywhere within your being. You find joy because this is your natural self. I listen to the preachers. I do. I turn them on because I like the rhythms and stuff. I like the music. I don't pay no attention to what they're saying. But the way he, yeah, and the congregation, and yeah, and the band, whoo, and he preaches against homosexuality, and there's a guy leading the band. I love it. I love the music, so I listen. Oh, he's not gay, he's just happy. Real happy to be amongst all those boys. See, but I listen to the rhythms. There's this rhythm. There's this rhythm about the world. There's all this stuff. The lie and the truth and the joy and the pain and the sadness being expressed in all these rhythms. So you have the rhythm of the earth. The words, but I enjoy it. I hear them say things that you go, really? God spoke to me the other night while I was at the club. Well, there's a preacher at the club where I work out, and he's always trying to save somebody. Right in the middle of his salvation speech, you let a woman go by in a pair of yoga pants. What was I saying? Well, Reverend, you actually saying those yoga pants were really tight. Yeah, that's what I was. No. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong is the lie. That's what's wrong. This is the lie. We have to stop. Understand what happens in us. What's happening in us. Know the difference when God speaks and when I speak. When I lie and say God spoke, because I want the power granted to me. When I say God spoke to me. When I want the power of the people that I have misled, because they don't know. They don't know. One of the first things I said, don't take my word for it. Do this and find out for yourself. Don't take my word about the bliss and the light that comes from behind what you think. Don't take my word for it. You can't. You can't know what that means. Open the door and see for yourself. I'm not your leader. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a guru. I'm just a guy passing through. That happened one day to do the right thing, and the right thing happened. See, when you do the right thing happens. Because I had nowhere else to go. I knew my whole life was a lie. My whole life was a lie. Even when I told the truth, it was a lie. Because where it came from was a non-real place. Okay. Enough of that. Oh, shit. I have gone nuts. There is a light. Oh, I remember people talking about the light. Oh, I remember when I was a kid. The light. Oh. You know, one of the reasons I know God cuss, because he cussed me that night. Lord, why? Because you full of shit. I heard the voice. Whoa. Okay. Didn't jump up and run. Didn't expect, my son, you are full of shit. No, it wasn't like that. It was just straight. That bass, no treble. It was just straight. Because you do this. Okay. More light. More vision. Wow. Wow. Then what is the truth about this or that or the other? No more showing now. Because the real question was asked, real answers were there. There's no need for anything else but real questions and openness for the answer. That's what I'm saying. You do this, it opens. And because you ask real questions, you'll get real answers because you're open. I don't get the statement, what is it you want me to say? That's the dumbest thing. I don't want you to say anything. I want you to participate in your work. And you will ask real questions. Because that's what it's about. Real questions and real answers. If you don't get the real answer, then how do you know? That's what the preacher does. That's what the guy that stands up in front of you and gives you the answer. And that's why we've got so many people thinking they know the answer when they are nothing but hypocrites. Because they don't. They have words. They got a book. Well, tell me so-and-so. Wait a minute. Chapter so-and-so, verse so-and-so says. No. Don't tell me what the book says. What do you says? No. As Judge Judy says, is not an answer. No. If you don't know, why are you in front of me? What can you tell me if you don't know? Yes, sir.
I have a question. The other day I saw a drunk guy climbing up the metro tracks. He was trying to climb over them, and there's that rocky part. Mm-hmm. He had dress shoes and he couldn't get traction on the rocks, so he was really struggling to get over that. And at first I laughed because he was drunk and all kind of comical, and then I felt concerned, once he gets up there he could get hit. But I keep on seeing that image, so when you say just stop, like I'm trying to stop that image from coming into my head. Because I can relate to him, I feel like that.
Yeah.
I feel like the place I'm trying to get to isn't the right one. I mean, if he would just allow himself to fall onto the sidewalk, he could go through the underpass and he'd be where he needs to go.
Ah, perfect example of what we're talking about, isn't it?
But I do the stop technique, I do the normal technique.
Just keep doing
I
it.
keep on seeing the drunk guy struggling on the rocks.
Well, it's a good thing. Maybe you need that, seeing that drunk guy on the struggling, because it is a perfect example. Like you said, all he had to do was fall down and go through the underpass. Okay. Maybe it's a perfect example that you need to see, struggling to do something, letting you know this is not the right way. Fall down. Come down. Come down. Find the underpass. Just keep doing the technique. See, the technique is about placing you for you to recognize something. Just keep doing it. It's happening in you. I can see it in your tears. I can see it in your struggle. It's happening in you. It's okay. Don't judge your tears. Don't judge them. Let them be. Let your feelings flow. It's okay. That's how we get to know who we really are. That's how we get to know our feelings. It's okay. It's all right. Which brings me to a point that I had forgotten. Thank you. The thing about feelings. How we talk to ourselves cover up what feelings really are. We've been told, don't feel this, don't feel that. We've been told this is what this feeling is. I say to you, no. What you must feel is the purity of that sensation. If you feel the purity of it, it's freeing. To be humiliated. That's why I say that person that had that bowel movement on the plane and walked out and everybody's looking at you was a perfect moment for enlightenment. I can see that in the Bible somewhere. Job went into the washroom, took a dump, and it was enlightening for the whole plane. Because it was humbling. We might say it was humiliating, but that's the words that we would place on it, and thereby try to cover up. Humbling brings you down off your high horse. And everybody knows you can't ride a high horse when you just let go of one like that. You got to come down and be real and go, man, I really did that. When you do that, you become human. You become God. God does not wear false faces. It is simple. It is purely what it is. So in order to understand that pure sensation and what it means, you have to go through it and stop talking to yourself about it. I'm angry. No. What does that mean? It means that you're feeling energy and you put a cap on it, and that cap is creating pressure. And you don't like the way that pressure feels. Therefore, I'm angry. Well, stop putting the cap on it. Stop putting the cap on it doesn't mean you go off and act like an idiot. It means you relax and let the pure energy rise, move throughout your entire being. And once it comes out the top, it flows and it feels really good and empowering. But as long as you keep the cap on it, it creates this pressure that doesn't feel good. So as long I'm angry with you, I'm angry about this, you are maintaining insanity. Insanity. It's all right. Everybody's insane, so don't worry about it in that sense. But know, if you want to be free, do this and find out for yourself. I've already told you what this is. Your technique. But now you're not going to have knowledge fall upon you. You do your technique, something happens. You have to recognize what's happening in order for you to relax more, allow that energy to move more freely, allow it to flush your body out more freely, in order to become weightless, in order to obtain escape velocity from this earth, this earthly form. That's what you need, escape velocity. But if you keep pushing it down, calling it anger, calling it insecurity, you have the fight or flight syndrome that happens at a moment within your body. If you push it down, you don't know what to do and you become frozen and not know what to do. I don't like that feeling. Well, because you misused the feeling. You didn't allow it full impact because you know what it is. I know what this is. No, you don't. You know what you have assumed that it is and the tension that you have placed upon it that caused a gestalt in your body. That's what you know. You know that it is unpleasant. You know why people jump out of airplanes or jump off mountains or climb mountains untethered or walk tight ropes across the Chicago River? Because letting go and letting that energy move through their body is liberating. That's what it is. It's liberating. For me, I just prefer to let the energy go. I don't want to walk a tightrope. I don't need to do that. I'm a smart guy. Just let it go. You feel it. This is truly what it means to come home to God. To come home to yourself. To what's natural within you. The natural power that is yours. You walk through that door and this is what you feel. Wow. You're not going to walk up and meet some guy sitting on a throne with a long beard going, "You have done well, my child." That is the limitation of a mind that still sees itself as this little form on this little planet. That is one of the gestalts that has been shaped by your environment. You have to let go even of that tension so that you see. So that you see what is true. You see what is true. Madeline Kahn in Blazing Saddles. It's true, it's true. That is all you're interested in. You see, when I walk through that door, I know how to treat you. The great holy Be well, go in peace. It's easy. I'm not trying to be holy. Therefore, I don't come across with this false holiness. You know, you meet some people who are so holy, yuck, get away from me. You're too... That's because it's a lie. They don't know that it is an ease. It is a comfort. That makes others comfortable when you choose. Sometimes you choose to make them uncomfortable, depending. They don't know. Look at the numbers who don't know. But don't forget to look in the mirror. Do not forget that one in the mirror. Michael Jackson. Saint Michael Jackson, the man in the mirror. Right? Don't forget that one. Never forget that one. My grandmother used to say, remember when you do this, there are 3 more pointed back at you. And that's true. That's true. I am the problem. I am the problem to the world when someone speaks to me and tells me the truth and I accuse them of something else. I am the problem. Because I am not listening. Because I have my idea and I'm weighing my idea against your idea. I am not listening to you. If what I have done and what I have found is true, what you have to say is not going to change that, if it is true. So I can listen to you. I have come across people who, as a part of their ritual, they go out and collect cow manure as a ritual once a year. Would you like to join us, brothers? No, thanks. I'm good. I'm good. But you guys have at it. You can smack cow patties until you are brown in the face. I'm not in it. But I'm not going to sit and tell you you're wrong. Unless you ask me. Then I have something to say. If you ask me, I'm not going to volunteer anything to you. I hear what you have to say. I hear why the cow patty may be sacred to you. Doesn't mean I'm going to believe you, but I understand. And if I understand, and I'm not going to put you down, we get along. Because you're a Muslim or Jewish or Christian or Hindu or whatever. It is best that we deal with each other on the basis of what all of those religions have in common. This makes everything easy. It makes life simple. There was a thing on TV called Clear about Scientologists and how you have to go through being cleared. They got the machine and all this, and you got to tell them all your secrets and shit, and then they blackmail your butt. Anyway. Now, you ain't leaving here, because remember, so-and-so? Okay. That what they say about becoming clear is true. But it's not about someone doing it or some mechanical means doing it for you. It's about what you do for yourself. It's about what the individual does for themselves. What we're doing here is simply saying, these are the tools you need to become clear. You use the tools, not me. People say, well, he might brainwash you. You're already brainwashed into thinking you know what you know. That's the easiest job in the world. I'm saying to you, unbrainwash yourself. I don't have anything to do with it. It would be different if I were driving, what you call that big car? Rolls Royce that you bought for me. If I was sitting here in a $4,000 suit that you bought for me. If I had a mansion over there on the lake that you bought for me. Well, look here. Pants, too short. I got Steve Urkel pants on. Did I do that? Because I'm not doing it for you. I'm saying each individual is responsible. Each individual is intelligent. Use your intelligence. Here's the thing that prevents you from using your intelligence. What you think you already know. Wow. Stop. Just stop. See for yourself. Not because I say so. So that's why I say, when you say to me, is this what you want me to say, or is this what you want me to... You don't understand. You don't get it. You shouldn't be here. After all this time, you shouldn't be here. Or in New York, or wherever else I go. Because that is so far off the track. That's for Scientology. If you want that, go on over to Scientology. Tom Cruise will welcome you. John Travolta will welcome you. Is that commercial, that cheese commercial, say, go on, get. That's over there. We don't do that. I'm saying, here, take this. Here's your pickaxe. Here's your hammer. Here's your chisel. Take that. Go ahead. Check it out. Dig your own gold mine. Where? Inside of you. That's where it is. That's what Buddha said. That's what Jesus said. Just go in there. Shh. In there. But if you refuse to move the stone that blocks the doorway, you can't get it. And that's okay. It's okay. It's your life. But then when you see me on the street, only expect. Can I come visit you? No. Why not? 'Cause if you invite lion tamers in your house, you get lions? No. Mm-mm. In my house, there's peace. In my house, there's light. In my house. I got on a pair of 30-year-old gym shoes. You look at me and go, And I look back at you and go, okay, we got it. But when I say I got on a pair of 30-year-old gym shoes and you say, no, that can't be. I think I hear my mama calling me. I got to go now. Peace. Peace. Live in peace, in real peace. Not contrived peace. When someone speaks to you, or you're talking to them, and you start to feel frustration, the question is, what am I doing that I feel frustrated? Not about them, about me. That's the only question. See, if you call me and ask me about them, I'm going to say click. Why? Because you're already off point. And it's time to get on point. So if I haven't hung up on you, you're doing all right. If I've hung up on you, change what you're doing. Because I don't know any other way. I've said for, I don't know.
Well, those are gym shoes.
As long as the gym shoes, that's right. Yeah, that's right. When I'm dead, you can put them up there. See, when you have that church where they have the cross, put one gym shoe on top of the other with me hanging on the cross going. Guys, thank you so much. I've enjoyed this immensely. Enjoy. Peace out.